In the frozen heart of Russia, in a time of brutal power struggles, lived a boy destined to become one of the most feared rulers in human history. His name was Ivan, and they would come to call him the Terrible. Ivan IV's childhood was a nightmare written in the halls of the Kremlin. He grew up surrounded by death and betrayal. His father, the Grand Prince of Moscow, died when he was just 3 years old. A few years later, when he was 8, his mother was poisoned, leaving him an orphan at the mercy of the scheming Boyar nobles. They were supposed to be his guardians, but instead, they saw him as a pawn. They beat him, starved him, and treated him like an animal, a puppet to be controlled. But this treatment didn't break him. It forged him. Every insult, every blow, every moment of humiliation was etched into his memory, fueling a fire that would one day consume all of Russia. At the young age of 16, Ivan seized power. He stood before the very men who had tormented him, and he remembered everything. He swore a silent, solemn vow. Russia would fear him more than he ever feared anyone. In a grand ceremony, he crowned himself the first Tsar of all Russia, a title that echoed the Caesars of ancient Rome. His reign began with promise, with reforms in law and government, but the darkness of his past soon crept in, and his rule turned dark, fast. He began to see enemies everywhere, real and imagined, and his mind, scarred by a childhood of paranoia, started to fracture. To enforce his will, Ivan created a private army, a terrifying army, dressed in black from head to toe, riding black horses and carrying symbols of a dog's head and a broom. They were his personal instruments of terror. Their mission was to sweep away treason and bite the enemies of the Tsar. Under Ivan's command, they unleashed a wave of chaos across the land. They burned entire cities to the ground, tortured nobles on the slightest suspicion, and executed thousands of people he suspected of betrayal. Moscow ran with blood, and Russia was plunged into a kingdom of fear, where a single wrong word could mean a brutal death. But the most tragic act of Ivan's reign wasn't committed against a stranger or a political rival. It was against his own blood. In a sudden, explosive fit of rage during a heated argument, Ivan struck his eldest son and heir, also named Ivan, with a heavy, pointed staff. The blow was fatal. As his son lay dying in his arms, the Tsar was consumed by a grief so profound it would haunt him for the rest of his days. This single, impulsive moment of violence shattered his own family, broke the line of succession, and ultimately shattered the future of Russia, paving the way for a period of chaos known as the Time of Troubles. Ivan ruled for over 50 years, a reign built